This is the Iowa Weather Report for Friday, September 18th, 2015, and now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. We have a system digging in across the middle part of the country. That's going to produce another wave of showers and a few embedded thunderstorms across the area. The heaviest rainfall chances are likely to be across our southern and southeastern counties of the state, but anybody could see a decent amount of rain from this system, and it could affect some high school football games later tonight, with readings fairly cool in our northern and northwestern counties in the 60s to the lower 80s in our southeastern counties. Few early morning showers, mainly just before sunrise on Saturday, before that moves off to the east, and this weekend will be sunny and with a few clouds here and there, and wonderful highs in the upper 60s through the 70s both on Saturday and Sunday, so a great day for tailgating down at Kinnick Stadium for the Iowa-Pittsburgh game, which is at night, I might add. The nighttime lows will be in the 40s and lower to middle 50s both Saturday night and again on Sunday night. Then as we move into the new work week, the winds will start to come back out of the south, so the temperatures will start to increase back into the 70s for most of the state on Monday, and will slowly be going through the 70s. A few areas by the middle of the week could be approaching or exceeding 80 degrees. We'll see if that occurs. Now here on Tuesday, a system comes in, the GFS shows this, with some precipitation, but as you can see, the low pressure center is way up at Hudson Bay, so these chances are very slim. If nothing else, we might see a few more clouds on Tuesday. But Wednesday, another system, a totally different system, approaches from the south and west, and this could give us another slight chance of a shower on Wednesday, a slightly better chance than we could see from the GFS that says on Tuesday. So Wednesday looks to be a bit better than Tuesday. Thursday looks to be a bit better than Wednesday as the front begins to ease in. But the chances look to be the best in the western and central counties, because as this system moves to the east, it looks to dissipate a little bit as it moves toward the east, so we'll keep watching it. And then as we go toward next Thursday and Friday, especially next Friday here, you can see a ridge is starting to take shape across the plains back into the south and west, pumping the main jet stream north of the state. And that means it's going to get dry again toward the end of September and possibly into the early part of October, as you'll see when we move into the extended period. So we'll keep watching it as we move forward, but temperatures by the end of next week could be well into the 70s and maybe a few low 80s. Going into that extended period around the 29th or so of September, you'll still see a ridge pretty much across the southeastern two-thirds of the country. Only the northwest and maybe far northern New England will see some fairly stormy weather outside of some monsoonal flow in the southwest and some maybe air mass thunderstorms in the southeast and around Florida as well. Still looks to be fairly warm as we move toward the end of September, as I mentioned before, and even into October with readings well into the 70s and maybe into the low 80s. Even as we go and look at the end of the forecast on the 3rd of October, we still see a ridge over a large portion of the country, a fairly deep upper level trough, an upper level system off the west coast. That's just teasing California with some rain. Some rain maybe in Northern California, but around here it just looks staying dry. Maybe some tropical rains across the south and into the southeast. We'll see if that continues on future model runs. As you see the satellite image from last evening, we have a storm system. This is the first one that's just moving in and through the state. Tropical entity off the coast of Florida, we'll watch that. Elsewhere across the country looks fairly quiet at this point. Watch morning map from last evening. Some flash flood warnings, a few of them across the Midwest. Some frost advisories in the around Pocatello and Idaho Falls in Idaho and over northern and northwestern North Dakota, and some freeze warnings around the Klamath Basin in south central Oregon. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock shows a lot of this rain fell last night and will fall today, mainly around a ½ inch in our northwest to maybe about an inch in our southeast, heaviest over the southwest and southeast.